time to throw some shade on some teams. Let's go! What's going on, everybody? It's me again, Golden Blue Dude, and if you haven't already, go ahead and hit that like and subscribe button. I make college football videos every single day, most of the time multiple videos, so if you don't like this video, maybe you'll like one of my other videos. This is a throwing shade video, aka talking trash. I'm letting you know, that's what this video is going to be doing. So here we go. First up on the list of shade, Auburn. Man, I thought Auburn was much better than what I saw on Saturday. And dropping them only to 13, that is very, very generous. So Auburn loses to Georgia. Georgia, pretty good. They lose 27-6, so they don't even score a touchdown. Bo Nix, 21 out of 40, only threw for 177 yards. No touchdowns, of course, and 1 interception. And only 61 rushing yards to go along with that. 216 offensive yards altogether. So they couldn't score, they couldn't move the ball, and they really couldn't stop Georgia. And Georgia is not known for their offense. They're still trying to figure out their quarterback situation. So that is not a good look for Auburn, man. Y'all look bad on the national stage. You picked a bad day to look bad because all of America's like, man, y'all suck. So you got to do better from here on out if you want any shot at winning the West. Y'all allowed 442 offensive yards from Georgia. That's unheard of. You can't do that. Auburn. Come on, guys. Next on the list, Texas. Texas blunders again. This time, they can't catch themselves like they did last week against Texas Tech. They actually do lose this week. They should have lost last week. They actually did lose this week. They lose to TCU 33-31. They had 2 turnovers. Sam Ehlinger, he was 17 for 36, 236 yards, 4 touchdown passes, but 1 interception. He's prone to throwing interceptions. And they only had 63 rushing yards to go with that. But they were still in the ball game at the end until Keontae Ingram fumbled at the 1-yard line. You just can't do that. Texas allowed 457 offensive yards from TCU. You can't do that, Texas, if you want to compete for the Big 12 championship and be back. But lucky for you, the Big 12 is trash this year, so you're still in it. But you don't look good. You got to play better than that. Big 12, man, what a mess. What a mess. Next up on the list, Texas A&M. I told you at the beginning of the season that ranking Texas A&M in the top 15 is stupid. They do it every year, and they always prove them wrong. Well, they're doing it again. They eked out a win against Vanderbilt, and then they just looked silly, pathetic against Alabama. Alabama romps them 52-24. Kellen Mond, he was 25 for 44, threw for 318 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 1 interception. But their defense couldn't stop anything. Allowed 544 offensive yards out of Alabama. And I know Alabama's good, but guys, at least hold it to 2 touchdowns. But you have to be competitive to be taken seriously. So once again, I don't take Texas A&M seriously, and they keep proving me right. Next up on the list, Oklahoma. Man, they're having a bad season already. Another loss. This time it was to Iowa State. A comeback victory for Iowa State. They lost 37-30. Spencer Rattler, 25 for 36, threw for 300 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. His youth is definitely showing. Brock Purdy, he didn't even throw the ball that much. 12 for 24, 254 yards, and 1 touchdown. So here's the deal. Oklahoma is not ranked for the first time since 2014. They have lost back-to-back games for the first time since 1999. They are not ranked this early in the season since 2005. That's a bad year. Y'all are having a bad year. I almost feel sorry for you, Sooners, but I don't. West Virginia has been through way worse than y'all have. Suck it up and get through it. And then we have Mississippi State. They lost to Arkansas 21-14. I knew it last week, putting that number 16 beside Mississippi State because they beat a depleted LSU was stupid. They proved me right. They lost to Arkansas, and they're right back out of the rankings. KJ Costello, he was 43 out of 59, 313 yards, 1 touchdown, and 3 interceptions. This is the same guy that earned a first-place vote in the Heisman vote last week. What? And he threw for 2 interceptions in the first game. Cut the crap. That's dumb. Arkansas's quarterback, and we've forgotten about this guy, Felipe Franks. Yes, he's still a quarterback, and he's still throwing it. 20 for 28, 212 yards, 2 touchdowns, so I guess he did enough. But, yeah. Not a good look for Mississippi State. Y'all lost to the worst team in the SEC West. Unless you're the worst team, unless LSU... I'm not even going to try to understand that. That's above me. Next up. Still on the list of the teams that were ranked and now unranked. UCF. They lost to Tulsa 34-26. Turned the ball over 3 times and allowed 438 offensive yards. They were ranked number 11th in the nation. No more. They are not ranked anymore, and people are laughing at them and that claim to that national championship a few years back. UCF, I was pulling for you, but you did this to yourself. And then let's not forget about good old Pitt. Yes, they were ranked number 24 in the nation, and they also kicked out of the rankings. They lost to an up-and-coming NC State. NC State's not great, but they're getting better. They lost to NC State 30-29. Kenny Pickett actually had a good game. He was 20 for 39, 411 yards, 1 touchdown. And Pitt had 503 offensive yards. That's not bad. NC State's quarterback, Devin Leary, he was 28 for 44, 336 yards, threw 4 touchdowns, and threw a 13-yard dime with 23 seconds left to hammer that final nail in the coffin. They upset Pitt, and yeah, of course I'm going to talk trash about Pitt. It's funny and you know it. I'm actually going to talk a little trash about Baylor and kind of about my team, West Virginia. If you watch that game, that was the most ridiculous, stupidest, dumbest game you've ever seen in your life. West Virginia forced Baylor into a punt. I mean, they did that a lot in this game. Our defense was on point. So this one time they forced them into a punt. We're back there, ready to catch it. Our own guy tackles our returner. We muffed the punt, and Baylor recovers. West Virginia had 4 of those stupid nonsense turnovers, but our defense kept bailing us out. And we went to overtime, 2 overtimes. We pulled it out 27-21 in spite of ourselves. 4 turnovers. Baylor, when somebody gives you that many opportunities, you should blow that person out. So, credit to our defense. I mean, we have probably the best defense in the Big 12 right now, which is not saying, all that much. But, man, 4 turnovers and you still lose, that's gotta suck really bad. And that was in front of a raucous 978 people at Mountaineer Field. So there you go. A little bit of trash talk to brighten your Monday. Hope you enjoyed this video. Like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you on my next video.